SBF doesn't care about crypto. He actually turns out that he only cared that how much money he could make. He's a completely immoral person and unethical. How many people love Facebook? Nobody loves Facebook. No problem for Facebook. They can still sell you more ads. To me, the real winter was 4 years ago, right? You know, when Bitcoin was $3,000, Ethereum was like $100. Blockchain progress, Web3 progress will be led in 23 mostly by Asian markets. So US will always be influential on the technology side.
睇片之前記得訂閱經一嘅 YouTube Channel， 撳埋個鐘仔，下載我哋個 App， 仲有我哋經一共肥計劃 Patreon 已經上線啦，貼士密密送，有錢齊齊揾，快啲訂閱啦！11月中嗰陣，全球其中一間最大嘅加密幣交易所 FTX 宣布倒閉，一啲本地為人熟悉嘅投資者都血本無歸。FTX 內部帳目混亂，再次引起對幣圈監管嘅討論。區塊鏈遊戲 The Sandbox 嘅開發人蕭逸話：出問題嘅係 FTX 同埋薯條哥 SBF 本身，同加密貨幣無關。
Unfortunately, though, especially in the past, FTX has gotten this reputation of this sort of, I guess, king of crypto in a way. So in a way, when there was a problem with FTX, reputationally, people look at that and say, if he is falling, then is the entire industry, sort of a problem, right? For people who don't know anything about crypto, that's what they think, or that's what they might fear. For people in the space like myself, we know that it doesn't really matter. The financial impact for FTX is actually relatively small in comparison to what happened with Terra Luna. Terra Luna was much worse. But reputationally, I think FTX is worse. That actually what happened to FTX has nothing to do with crypto per se. So the situation with FTX and SBF is just fraud. The other thing, of course, is that this particular thing happened in a centralized exchange. Nobody knew what was going on. The whole point about blockchain is transparency. And FTX was completely hidden. Nobody could see what was going on in the back, right? SBF doesn't care about crypto, right? He actually turns out that he only cared that how much money he could make. He's a completely immoral person, so and unethical. He spoke a lot about giving away all his money. It's all bullshit too.
FTX 涉嫌挪用客戶資金，市場恐慌甚至可能出現骨牌效應。最近幣安就試過單日俾人提取咗19億美金，穩定幣 USDC 一度唔俾人拎出嚟。作為全球最大加密貨幣交易所，幣安又會唔會步 FTX 嘅後塵呢？
I don't think we'll have a similar situation with Binance or other exchanges who have posted their reserves because they've now disclosed their position. I would say that generally with Binance, obviously I think they're astute operators. I think so far they've run the operation very efficiently. I think because of his power and influence, particularly governments might be concerned, right? I think with Binance, the approach is that they're clearly trying to become friendlier with the regulators. Right? I think that's part of the maturation of the process. I think the industry does need Binance to become, a positive influence. In Web3, you have to be transparent. Because many of them don't have the regulation, how do they gain the trust of the user? By saying how much money we have, right? And by putting it in a wallet. And when they see the source of the wallet, if money moves from that wallet, then you also know, maybe there's a problem, right? One of them that we could describe as Wall Street crypto. Wall Street crypto is FTX, is Binance, is Three Arrows, is hedge funds, is investing, which has been, I guess, the narrative for a long time. But the utility culture crypto, which is what we're interested in, is actually where we think the future is. We're not Wall Street. Yeah.
經一共肥計劃推出獨家內容，每日都只係需要5蚊左右，就可以拎到絕密投資貼士。加入會員，立即訂閱，共肥不自肥，賺錢預埋你。喺 Web 3.0 入面，其中一個核心概念就係去中心化。但係喺呢個新時代來臨之前，好多科網巨頭都想早着先機。蕭逸就覺得啲大公司要喺 Web 3.0 形成壟斷成本實在太高，而 Facebook 改名做 Meta 之後，元宇宙嘅部門蝕到好金，第三季盈利大倒退添。
How many people love Facebook? Nobody loves Facebook. No problem for Facebook. They can still sell you more ads. You type some messages on WhatsApp about Japan, and then suddenly you get an ad on Japan or something. Like you wonder, how did they get that? We don't know. For a small period of time, a lot of people stopped using WhatsApp. Then they went to Signal, and then they come back to WhatsApp, right? Why? Because they have a monopoly. Web3 will change this. And if there's a good alternative, people will go there. In the Web3 way, the customer owns the data. He would understand the value the data generates, and he would get a share of the data. It means all of us who use Facebook would actually receive money from Facebook. That's the Web3 way. So they're trying to control it by getting people to go to Facebook, but the cost of the infrastructure is so large. They have to spend, they say they invest $10 billion a year, but they're also charging 47% tax on their sort of Horizon Meta platform, whereas Sandbox only has to charge 5% because it's on a public blockchain. So it can compete competitively. When I say anti-monopolistic, because the data is open on top of the assets, and we basically lose control of our customer. So no matter how big we get, actually we're not going to be able to control the customer.
2022年幣圈嘅元宇宙 NFT 熱潮似乎有所減退，年尾之前仲爆出交易所 FTX 倒閉醜聞。蕭逸預計亞洲市場將會喺事件之後嘅2023年領導作用更加強大。
To me, the real winter was 4 years ago, right? When Bitcoin was $3,000, Ethereum was like $100. So it's gotten colder, but I don't think of this as a real winter. But if this is a winter, then before was an ice age. Blockchain progress, Web3 progress, will be led in 23 mostly by Asian markets. So US will always be influential on the technology side. And we see today, the attitude towards Web3 in Asia is very positive, whereas the attitude for Web3 in America is a little bit more negative.
蕭逸話：2023年將會係區塊鏈遊戲標誌性嘅一年，會有好多高質遊戲陸續推出。而下一條片，蕭逸仲會講佢旗下 Sandbox 嘅發展，同埋元宇宙未來幾年嘅趨勢。想知更多就記得留意經一嘅 YouTube Channel 啦。經一共肥計劃推出獨家內容，每日都只係需要5蚊左右，就可以拎到絕密投資貼士。加入會員，立即訂閱，共肥不自肥，賺錢預埋你。想緊貼更多理財、投資同生活嘅資訊，就繼續留意我哋唔同嘅平台，記得訂閱我哋 Patreon 同埋 YouTube Channel， 同撳埋個鐘仔啦。